Hello, everyone. Welcome to the weekly show of Classroom Without Walls, a school for entrepreneurs. My name is I'm the host of this weekly live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the weekly show me?
It's not me.
Is that me?
I think so.
My name is I'm the.
Let me check.
I think it's me. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Yeah, I have the YouTube channel. So sorry about that. Yeah. So my name is I'm the host of this weekly live streaming show. On this show, I interview leading entrepreneurs, content creators, social media, digital marketers to come here to share with us their best practices so that we can future-proof our business. You can also listen to the weekly live streaming show on the traditional audio-only podcast. Just search Classroom Without Walls. And today we are talking about YouTube. And 2020 is almost over. What a crazy year. So one of my goals in 2021 is to grow my YouTube channel from 200 or 300 people to at least add another 0 to start to monetize on the channel. So join me live are two rock star experts about YouTube from TubeBuddy, which is a tool that I'm really falling in love with to grow my channel, to get more viewers, to get more subscribers. So the person on the lower screen is Andrew Ken. And Andrew is the director of video production at TubeBuddy. And Andrew has successfully grown TubeBuddy's channel from 6,000 followers to 500,000. Incredible. And my friend Rob Balasabas, who came to our show a few months ago, so welcome back. And he is a brand evangelist at TubeBuddy, and he has grown his own channel from a few hundred followers where I am right now to 3,000 within a year, less than a year, I think. So really excited to learn more from both of them. And also we have a special treat for everyone today. And if you are interested in doing a free YouTube channel live critique, so make sure to share your link in the comment section, and we are going to select a few people to do a free YouTube channel live critique. I mean, what else are you looking for, right? So make sure to stay for the entire interview, and you are also going to have a better understanding of the YouTube algorithm, actually how the algorithm works, and you are going to also learn some tips and some tricks to make your content become more discoverable and searchable. And so we are live. A few of you are already here. So great to see you, friends. So we are live on Facebook, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Periscope, and on Twitch. If you are live with us right now, let me know in the comment section where you are joining us live from, social media-wise and geographically speaking. Without any further ado, and welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, of course, honor. So please add a few words to my very brief introduction there.
All right, go ahead, Andrew. Go first.
So as I beautifully put, I am the director of video and production for TubeBuddy. So my whole job is to help our community and extended communities learn how to best use our tool to help you grow and develop your YouTube channel so you can, whether it's teaching or helping your business grow, we have tools that can help you do that. And Rob, who is a superstar and rock star, as I has alluded to, has an important job too. Rob, why don't you take it away?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Andrew. So I'm I used to be the brand evangelist or brand ambassador here and have transitioned now to partnership manager. So I get to work closely with our affiliates, our affiliate program, and also our brand partners and influencer partners as well. So I get to hang out with Andrew every week on our TubeBuddy 101, which is a live training that we do for all of our new users and just do Q&A and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what we do here.
Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations. I didn't even know.
No, it's okay. I didn't either, actually. No.
You change jobs so fast, which is great. Yeah, gig economy. I love it. So share with us, right? I already introduced both of you have grown like a channel from scratch to million followers. And so share with us, what is your secret to success, to grow a YouTube channel very successfully?
Sure. So Rob, if you don't mind, I'll take this one.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, just go first every time.
Rob's like, no,
Hold easy.
pass it to Andrew.
Yeah.
So basically, when I started TubeBuddy, as you said, was we had 6,000 subscribers. So it's kind of funny because back then people were like, oh, who is this new guy? But now I've been here for so long and I've grown the channel. Anytime we bring on someone, they're like, where's Andrew? So we started as a place where I feel like a lot of businesses do. We explain the value we provide to the audience, but the thing is, we explained it with ways we understood. Where the growth really came was like, okay, here's what our tools are. How are they helping our users? And how are our users looking to be helped? Because knowing what your tool can do is important to reverse engineer that to see, well, what do they need? A great example is people are like, well, I want to reply to comments faster. Well, here's a video on canned responses from TubeBuddy, which is a free tool that lets you do that. So instead of making canned responses why they're awesome, we made how to respond to comments faster using TubeBuddy canned responses. And it was answering what the people needed. And again, it seems like common sense, but the thing about common sense is that it's not always common practice. So the more we practiced it and the more we saw it, the more our audience is like, wow, they're actually reaching us where we're at. Because it's similar to teaching, right? Like, it's great that you as the instructor know everything, but if your students aren't retaining what you're teaching, then there's time to kind of change it up. Make sure you can deliver what you are promising. So it was a huge mindset shift where at first we were just like, here's our awesome tool. And it's like, well, you know what? Why don't we meet you where you are? And that had huge growth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I love that. I would love to see the canned response. Can you do a screen share with us, Andrew? Is that to ask?
It is definitely possible. So while Rob is answering that question as well, I will pull up canned responses for us.
While Andrew's pulling that up, like the one thing I want to add to Andrew is with TubeBuddy, I find as well, before I even joined TubeBuddy, YouTube is such a big space. Sometimes it can be really overwhelming. If that's you, if it's overwhelming, let us know in the chat. But, YouTube and understanding how YouTube works and algorithms and thumbnails and canned responses and all this stuff, there's a lot of things to really manage. And I found that by understanding the TubeBuddy tools, it almost helped me understand YouTube and best practices, because these are tools to help you use these best practices and put them to action. Canned responses is built because you should reply to your comments and engage with your viewers and people that are spending time to comment on your videos. And so all of these things, the A/B testing for thumbnails, you should pay attention to your thumbnails because they're the gateway to your videos. So all these things, if nothing else, TubeBuddy can really help you learn and understand YouTube sort of as a side effect of using the tools.
Yeah, totally. And I love this comment from Karen. Thank you for joining us live from Australia. And I agree, meeting with people where they are, so which is absolutely so true. Yeah. So we have the screen here from Andrew. I'm going to make this larger. So share with us.
Sure. So to get to the TubeBuddy canned responses, we first are going to take you to the comments page. I was just zooming in there, so it's a little easier to read. So from the TubeBuddy drop-down menu, one of the things we do is make it easier to get to these hard-to-reach places on YouTube. So we'll click comment under the drop-down menu. And once that loads, we're going to see the familiar TubeBuddy icon. So you'll see there are a bunch of comments here. We have comments on videos. So we have someone that says, good luck with the cold. Well, we want to say thank you for the kind words. So here you can see the familiar TubeBuddy icon and our canned responses. So one of our live streamers had a cold, so we wanted to say thank you so much. And then that's just a, very quick thank you. And instead of having to type that out, especially with dealing with lots of comments like we have here, we can say, this person says so very nice. We can be like, well, thank you. What's your biggest takeaway? Because you really enjoyed it. So we have canned responses that help you pretty much save time. So we can ask them, hey, what did you find valuable from this? So it says, what was your biggest takeaway? And again, it says their name. It goes a step beyond, because what's more beneficial? Me just saying, hey, you, or hey, I, or hey, Rob. It's way more personable when you can go that extra step.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for sharing that. I love that. I'm going to remove this. So that is such a great tip. And I know, right, we all love. And I think one thing that I struggle a lot with content creation is if you are like many of us on different channels, it's really hard to respond to every single person. It's just very, very hard to give them undivided attention. So I love this. Can you actually customize the canned response?
Yes. So on the free version, you only get one. I do want to distinguish that. But on the paid plans, you can have as many canned responses as you want. So you can have different variations of thank yous or how did you enjoy this video in whatever ways you want to write it.
Oh, wow. That's great. That's great. So it's so nice to hear some of your personal secrets to get to where you are today. So for most people watching this are kind of new and they don't have a big following like you guys. So what are some common like new YouTuber mistakes that people are making so we can avoid those mistakes?
Sure. So one of the biggest mistakes I see people make, and I feel like this is common in education, is that you forget that if you're in the education space or in the business space, that, hey, people don't speak the way you speak. Again, going back to where they are. Another common mistake I see is that people expect them to care without earning that trust, without earning that authority. So people will just go into a video like they've been doing it forever, but they haven't earned their trust. They haven't earned that ability to have that just instant look. So sometimes people forget that, hey, quick introduction. Hi, I'm Rob Balasabas here from TubeBuddy. Hi, I'm Andrew Can. Hi, I'm I. That goes so far because you don't know who's new to your content, who's not, which is why those introductions, reintroducing yourself is so important. And a lot of new creators are like, well, everyone does this, so I don't want to do it. I don't want to be like everyone else. But people do it because it works. So that's a huge thing I constantly see where people just feel they don't have to because everyone does it already.
Oh, wow. What a great tip. You want to add anything, Rob? Is he on mute?
Rob, I think you're muted.
Go. Rookie. Sorry, guys. This is my first live stream. No, I'm kidding. No, I wanted to say, like, I do see a lot of people commenting on Facebook groups and, different communities and threads, like saying like, hey, my channel is not growing. And it almost feels like it's like a blame on YouTube. Like, oh, YouTube is against me. For some reason, they won't let my channel grow. And, what I've learned as I, dive into different channels, me and Andrew are always, looking at different channels, doing audits and reviews. There's always a reason why your channel is not growing, and it's not because of YouTube. There's always a reason, whether you're not uploading, enough, you're not paying attention to, the thumbnails or the video format, or you're, like Andrew mentioned there, your introduction is too long. You're not getting to the value quick enough, and so people are leaving the video, which is really bad for your metrics and your algorithm. So that's kind of one of the biggest mistakes, is that people kind of fail to kind of look at their own, the content and what they're doing, and and they fail to be a student of YouTube and understand, what is it? Let's troubleshoot this. My channel's not growing. There's got to be a reason. What's that reason? What can I improve? Because I mean, even talking to Andrew all the time, like, he's always looking for ways to improve the videos and improve, the watch time, even on the TubeBuddy channel. Even though it's massive, it's almost 500,000 subscribers, Andrew is still, such a good example of still a student of YouTube, and, trying to roll with the punches and all the updates that YouTube has. So I think that's a huge mistake with new creators and new YouTubers, is trying to be like, you know what? It's not working. Like, YouTube's not work for me, or my audience is not on YouTube because my videos aren't getting views, or my channel's not growing, and not looking why, because their competitors, their channels, they're growing. There's competitors in your space, whatever niche you're in. There's channels in your space that are growing and, massively. And so, don't give up too fast.
Like so many great points. I mean, I have always been really active on LinkedIn. I recently had my own wake up call because I realized, even though I have only like 300 subscribers on YouTube, even some of my old videos, people are still watching, like some of the interviews, like, wow, it never happened to me on LinkedIn. Like, old content is old content, right? Like, people don't really go back to watch my video from a year ago. So I love those really, really great tips. We have already people. Today we are doing a free live channel critique. I see a few channels up already. So please keep sharing, and we are definitely going to do a live critique. And so here I see a question from Hassan, which is also actually one of my questions, because if most people are new to YouTube, and when you are new, you have the title, you have the thumbnail, you have the description, you have the text. It's really a lot. I think Leslie mentioned that it is overwhelming, right? Like, where should I even prioritize? So I wonder if both of you or one of you can really answer this question. Maybe you can explain to us title, description, text, and thumbnail, like which one is the most important in terms of the YouTube algorithm that can really help our content be discovered. And thank you for asking this great question.
I love this question. So this is what I would say, right? They're all important, because this is a question we get. Which one's the most important? It's like a house. You wouldn't say what's more important, the doors or the windows, the roof or the floor. They're all important to being a structure you can live in, right? They're all important when it comes to being a conducive unit, right? So the way it all works is, if our foundation, right, we're going back to that house analogy, is what your videos are about. So that is our target keyword, YouTube would call. So if we're doing a video on how to cook chicken pot pie, cooking chicken pot pie is our target keyword, right? So our title should include that. Our description should include that. Our tags should all be on how we've described how to cook that chicken pot pie. The reason for that is because YouTube ranks their search by relevancy. So tags help you tell YouTube, hey, this is what my video's about right out of the gate. The problem is people want that one metric to save their content, when reality is, what we'll see is people will say how to make the best chicken pot pie ever in the title. And that's okay. That's awesome. And then their tags are chicken pot pie, chicken Fritos, chicken fingers. It's like, well, whoa. You just told YouTube you're trying to make the best chicken pot pie ever. And now you're getting away from that in your tags. And then in your description, you're like, hey, everyone, have you ever decided that you want to eat something tonight and you're just so hungry? And it's like, YouTube has no cohesive. It's not relevant, right? There's no relevancy between those three. So when you make them all work together, you build that house. The foundation is your target keyword. The walls is that title and thumbnail, right? The roof is the description because it protects you. And the tags are the windows and doors. It lets people come in. It helps them find your content. So when you say, well, actually, without a door, there is no house. It's like, well, without walls, without the roof, without a foundation, there's no house. So it's making sure that you don't say, well, my house is only as good as its door. Your house is as good as the parts that build it and what's inside.
I talked to Andrew a lot. I've never heard that one before.
I made that up just now.
That's natural talent right there. That's awesome.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm on mute. Too excited, accidentally mute myself. Yes. I love it. So really getting something new out of you, which is great. I'm a visual learner, and can you give us some best practices to illustrate everything you have just shared with us, Andrew? So I see that you have a screen. Should I share that, or
just give me 1 second? I'll pull up our recent video just to give you an idea of how we take that idea
to understand the title, and also if you can incorporate keyword search. Because one thing I learned when Rob came to my show a few months ago, I learned how important it is to actually do the keyword search before creating video content. And how many of you in the live audience are guilty of I'm so excited, I'm going to create this video, and we don't even think about keyword search or create the video first, and then try to in the description add a few keywords. And I don't think that's a really good strategy. So if you can kind of incorporate all of them, give us some best practices,
yes,
that'd be awesome.
All right, let's go to the screen share. So from the TubeBuddy drop-down menu, once again, under extension tools, I want to go to our keyword explorer. Now this is once again free. I'm going to zoom in so it's a little easier to see. So from here, we talk about doing that keyword research first, because if I go back to that house analogy, you wouldn't build a house without a blueprint. You wouldn't just throw walls, a ceiling, and call it a day. You would want an overall idea. So one of the cool things about keyword research is we pull from YouTube and Google Trends to give you ideas. So let's say that there's something that is in your niche, right? Or niche, however you say it. So let's say I'm a baseball channel. Well, the Dodgers, the World Series, that's trending. That would make sense for me to talk about. let's say that I want to go back to chicken pot pie. Again, I used that as my example earlier. So if I type in chicken pot pie, well, all of a sudden, right here, TubeBuddy is going to pull things that people are actually looking for right now. These are what people want to know. So it's meeting them where they are. Again, I mentioned that earlier. So from here, I know I want to do something about chicken pot pie. I know I have a recipe I want to share. So I'm going to choose chicken pot pie recipe. And from here, this is going to help me understand what people are searching for. And I know this can look confusing, but I'm going to make this really simple. You said you're a visual learner, so hopefully this can really break it down simple to you. Rob, I'm probably have punched this point to death, but Rob knows it. You should look at this score exactly like a traffic light. And the reason I say that is because when you think of it like that, you can understand what I mean. In a traffic light, red means to stop. In terms of keyword research, you should stop and consider another term. Yellow is to be cautious. Now, there are two drivers. I might slow down at a yellow light and take caution, but Rob, my man Rob, he's going to go 100 miles an hour because he thinks he can get that opportunity to get him a little more time, right? So in terms of keyword research, if you're the kind of person at a yellow light that you slow down and pump the brakes, then maybe for that term you slow down and pump the brakes. But if you're a daredevil like my man Rob, you go for it. And of course, like a traffic light, green means you're good to go. So understanding that we're looking for a target keyword, which is this chicken pot pie recipe. We're looking for something to make a description, to make a video around, but we also want to optimize our videos around. Understanding that traffic light lets us understand our score analysis, right? So this green means we're good to go. It has a lot of search volume. In fact, there are 682,000 people a month looking for chicken pot pie recipes. So that's, if I'm going to make a video on chicken pot pie recipes, it's pretty good. But we also need to look at how many people have made videos on this, which is why our competition is fair. There are 17.2 million videos on chicken pot pie recipes. Now, you might be like, it's fair. What do you mean? There are millions to trillions of videos on this platform, right? So 17.2 million, while a lot, in the grand scheme of the internet, is actually not that much. So ideally, you want your score to be in that yellow to green bracket. So the competition is there, but if you notice, we have a very good optimization strength. And if you ever get lost on what any of these means, you hover. So the idea here is that there aren't a lot of videos that are very well optimized for chicken pot pie recipes. Like if you look, the only one here is Natasha's Kitchen. She has the exact search term people are looking for. But a lot of people say chicken pot pie, but they don't talk about the recipe, right? In fact, it takes to number 7 and a little further down to really see people delivering that chicken pot pie recipe. So we can see that people are interested in this. We can see people are searching for this. So maybe we see what other people want to know. So people are looking for chicken pot pie recipes. Well, maybe we're going to be different, right? Maybe we're going to do it with cream of chicken soup. So now we know that people are already looking for chicken pot pie. We know they're looking for recipes, and we have something that makes us unique that we can talk about. So now we would take this entire keyword, our target keyword, which is chicken pot pie recipe. What makes us different is with cream of chicken soup, we go to action, and then you'll love this. You can optimize it and it will look, well, I don't know why it did that, but you got to love live demos. You never know what's going to happen. So if we can go back to our Keyword Explorer really quick, I might need to quickly refresh, but basically it will take all the work we have done and it will make it so much easier. So if we go back to chicken pot pie, we know we were looking for recipes. This is how we got there again. This is also probably very useful if you were following along. So chicken pot pie recipe with cream of chicken. We go back to the action button, click on Optimize in SEO Studio, and for some reason, it is really loving this video today, so let me try backing out. That's the beauty of live. You never know what's going to happen, but don't worry.
But everyone knows that we're actually live, right?
Exactly. It's like it works every time, but the second you hit that live button, it's like, you know what? Let's not. So hopefully this will work. There we go. Again, it's just, you're live, you got to deal with it. But here you can see what we were talking about. Rob mentioned the best practices. So I said target keyword, right? I mentioned how that is what you base your title, your description, and as you can see here in step 2, your tags around. So we know that our target keyword is the chicken pot pie recipe with cream of chicken soup. Now, if you're looking for this is informative, right?
This is amazing, yeah.
But does that make you want to make this recipe? Like, does this chicken pot pie recipe with cream of chicken make you want to make it?
Not really.
So that's where, we know that people are searching for this, but it's not compelling. So what if I said, so easy, a toddler can do it?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yes.
All of a sudden I'm like, well, if a toddler can do it, I can do it. Mm-hmm. So that's way more compelling, right? You're getting that chicken pot pie recipe you wanted, but now all of a sudden it's compelling. And you're like, well, if a toddler can do it, I definitely can do it.
Love it.
So now we have a much more compelling title. And if you look, the more we focus on making our title around our target keyword, our score goes up, because this SEO Studio score is just making sure you're doing 100% of what YouTube recommends. A lot of people are like, well, I have an 100 SEO Studio score. That just means you're doing the bare minimum YouTube is asking. Mm-hmm. And so by doing the bare minimum, you're setting yourself up for success. So that's making sure the title's there, making sure your description's there. So you have a house that you can build and people can come in to get what they're looking for. In this case, they're looking for those chicken pot pie recipes. Our twist is with cream of chicken soup.
I love it. I love it. I can see a common mistake, right? Because most times, including myself, when we create a title, it's so broad, it's so vague that, no wonder the videos that I'm creating are now really ranking. We got lots of great comments. And so like here, Leslie said that she has tried the tool before, but this in-depth demo is really helpful. I'm so happy to hear that. And Leslie, I know you shared your YouTube channel before, but somehow the comment disappeared on Facebook. So if you don't mind sharing your link again, so I will do a critique, because I know you are the first person who shared. So thank you so much. Yeah. So here's a quick question from one of our LinkedIn user, Andrew, and I think it's Andrew. Yes, Andrew, a different Andrew. And
Andrew's got to stick together.
I know, I got confused. Is the better workflow for YouTube live stream to put the tags embed going live or after? I don't really understand the question. Do you understand?
I think he meant before
yes.
going live or after.
Oh yeah, before. Yeah. So let me share the question. I don't. Yeah.
So when it comes to YouTube live streamings, it's just like YouTube videos. You want to make sure you're giving, when you put in those tags, you put in the description, you're giving your content relevancy. So YouTube's like, hey, we noticed that you're interested in this. So here's a live stream that's about that. So if you don't put in that information, you're actually hurting yourself. You're not giving yourself as many chances to tell YouTube, hey, this live stream, like we're doing now, is how to gain your first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And it's about free YouTube channel critique. So if anyone's like, man, I really want to earn my first 1,000 subscribers, YouTube's like, hey, here's a live stream that's exactly what you've been looking for. And because you've done so much work, to help that YouTube know what it's about, YouTube's like, well, yeah, we'll try sending that out. Now, just because YouTube sends it out doesn't mean you're going to get viewers. That's up to the title to get people to click, but it's helping YouTube know what it's about. So YouTube can be out there and be like, hey, watch this, listen to this. This might be what you want.
Mm-hmm. I love it. This is something I need to fix, because I always add tags after the live streaming show. And actually, as I was preparing for today's interview, I binge watched so many videos from Andrew. All of you should check out their YouTube channel. And you actually shared in one video that you can actually save tags through TubeBuddy. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So I immediately created it too. So do you mind doing another quick screen share? And then we're going to dive into some live channel critique. I have Leslie, I have Amy. So anyone just join us now. If you are interested in doing a live channel critique, and feel free to share your links in the comment section, and we're going to first come, first serve. I also have my own channel to be critique, but I love to give priority to you guys. And so
let's just go back to screen share. So once we're here, one cool thing about this is if you don't want to lose your chicken pot pie recipe and all that, there's two ways you can save tags. One is through our SEO Studio. So you can click tags and you can start adding them, right? So chicken pot pie recipe with cream of chicken soup. We can add that, in different ways. We have easy chicken pot pie recipe with cream of, we said so easy, so it makes sense to add it. Chicken pot pie recipe with cream of, chicken soup and pie crust. Hey, if we have a pie crust, let's add it. So here we have tags that let you can read and see if they're relevant. Again, irrelevant tags are against YouTube's terms of service. And we went from having one tag to now we have many. But I'm going to save the draft and show you another way we can do this. So I'm going to get out of chicken pot pie recipes because I'm just going to be hungry if I keep doing that. So I'm going to click on the TubeBuddy drop-down menu, go back to Keyword Explorer. And Rob, how about you tell me something to look up? Is there anything you want to know about?
Oh, let's see.
Can I suggest something? Because you talk
Sure.
to me all the time.
Yeah. Go ahead, I.
Please, this is my chance to learn. So I'm interested because I do lots of kind of educational content, like ideas for homeschooling, ideas for online learning, how to raise your children outside the traditional school norm. So that's kind of what I do.
So one thing I'm going to look up is I'm looking up what people are looking for in terms, right? So you said homeschool. So that's something that popped out to me. So right here, we're seeing homeschool life hacks. They're looking for hacks. They're looking for room. They're looking for a desk tour. They're looking for setups. They're wanting to know these different things. You said homeschooling, right? So if we look up homeschooling, these are things that people are looking for. So your whole mission, right, is to help in this way. So we can see homeschooling for beginners. These are things that real people are looking for. So one way you can save tags and ideas is through a TubeBuddy tag list. So if you want to talk about homeschooling, then each one of these things are things people are actively looking for. So each one of these things is an idea that you could make a video about. You can make a video about homeschooling kindergartners, and that's going to be different than preschoolers, and it's going to be different than first graders, and so on and so forth. You can talk about curriculum, and then you're like, hey, if you want to see videos about each different grade level, I have a playlist on each different grade level. You are meeting them where they are. So if you wanted to make a video, which one of these jumps out to you?
Maybe homeschooling like third grader or curriculum. Homeschooling curriculum. That's my strength. I design curriculum actually for schools, for parents. That's what I'm doing now.
And if you look, the amount of people looking for homeschooling curriculum is about 192,000 a month. So for you, that's a huge opportunity to get a lot of interest. So this is what people want to know around homeschooling curriculum, right? So they want to know about second grade. You mentioned earlier third grade. Well, looky here. Homeschooling curriculum third grade. It showed up. So now we know homeschooling curriculum third grade is something people are searching for, because people were looking for homeschooling curriculum and you're delivering exactly what they wanted, which is the third grade version. So from here, if I go back to homeschooling, or I go homeschooling curriculum, I want to save all of these. And I can do that by this little checkbox, and you can see how many keywords you have selected. I want to make a video on every single one of these because these are things people are searching for. And because you're so passionate about this, this is perfect for you. Right. And then, hey, maybe you can talk about, if you're in the UK, you're like, hey, here's how the UK does it. This is how they do it in other countries. And maybe you can learn from them. I know you like that holistic approach. I know watching your channel trailer, one of the things you said is you like taking from different cultures to give a unique, broadened experience. Right.
Yes.
So would that not fit into a video where you could talk about this is how they do it in India and here's what we can learn from it? Right.
Totally. Now I have at least 20 ideas for my video. Seriously.
Exactly. You had 13 ideas. So what I do is I don't want to lose these, right? I don't think anyone goes, I want to lose the ideas I had. So we're going to click new list. We're going to call this homeschooling ideas, or maybe homeschooling curriculum ideas. Again, just making sure we can understand what we wrote later. So homeschooling curriculum ideas, we hit OK. We're going to make sure that all of these are added. So we're going to click there. We've added them. So now, if we want to see that list of all of our homeschooling curriculum ideas, we click on the TubeBuddy drop-down menu. Then, under Extension Tools, you're going to see your tag lists. And if you look here, you can see our homeschooling curriculum, and then all the ideas that people are searching for, we have now saved.
So powerful.
So now when people are like, hey, I want to know about a specific like grade level, hey, well, I actually have a video on this, or I can make a video on this because people are interested in this. So you went from just homeschooling curriculum to now you have 13 different videos you could make.
I love it. So powerful. So powerful. Yeah. And much more specific. So if based on your experience, if we start producing videos that are this really specific, so it's a lot likely to grow our channel like faster than kind of like you're doing like I see some comments people are talking about just like doing random videos, right?
Well, the thing is on random videos, right? Think about it this way. Imagine if you were watching a movie and you love this movie. The movie's great. And then all of a sudden in the middle of it, it became a Korean drama, but you were watching an English comedy. It's like, whoa, I didn't come up for the Korean drama. Not saying it's a bad Korean drama. I like Korean dramas. But if you came in for one thing and then randomly in the middle it's something else, people are like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So let's do a channel critique. So let me share my screen.
Let's go for it.
Yeah, so I think Leslie shared her screen first. So get ready to take some notes, my friend. No, this is this is her channel. Is it better? So should I send you the link or you want me just to share my screen? Which way is for you?
I think if you share the link, I see you have already kind of shared it here, or actually I see Rob has.
Rob did it.
So I can actually, if you don't mind, I'll share my screen and we can kind of go through it together.
Yeah, and plus I don't have the TubeBuddy too, so it's hard for me to like,
All right,
It's just incredible. Everyone is learning so much, very informative. I so agree. This is like really incredible. Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. So I have it pulled up on my screen. So if you just want to put the screen share over. So Rob, I've done a lot of talking and I know you've done some channel reviews too. Why don't you let us know, what do you think of the banner right off the bat?
Sure.
Yeah. You can take notes.
Yeah. No, the banner is good. It pops. It's got a lot of color there. I think what it's missing though, Leslie, and thanks for volunteering. It's takes a lot of courage to volunteer a channel for a public review. But yeah, I think what's missing here is sort of the value proposition, right? So volume up. You know, it's cool that you share when you upload. That's actually really good. Most people don't even share the day, but you're sharing the date and the time specifically, so that's good. Hopefully it helps you be accountable to that as well and like regularly uploading, but I think what it's missing is the value proposition. So what is it about your channel? Like why should I subscribe? You know, what's sort of the benefit or the transformation that you hope, you know, a new subscriber will get from your content? So adding a value proposition, I think, is really going to be really key there. Also, I think, you know, it's your channel, right? You've got your name on it. So, you know, having a picture of yourself on the banner might be a good idea so that people can then see like, okay, well, here is who Leslie is, and, you know, put a face and humanize your channel and your brand. I think that goes a really long way to doing that. So just, you know, simply you have a really nice picture there already in your, you know, in your sort of avatar. So just taking another picture and putting it up on the banner, I think would be really cool. How about you, Andrew? What do you think?
I agree with a lot of the points you said. And again, if you want people to show up, you also need to show up on your banner too. I like that you tell us when to show up. But one thing, and I love that Rob hit on this, why should we turn the volume up? Think of it that way. Give us a reason to turn up the volume each week with you. And if I go away from the banner, you know, one thing you can do is have a channel trailer. And this can really help us understand what the channel is about. But because we don't see one, we're kind of left as a new user. Again, Rob and I tend to look at this as we're brand new to the channel. We've never seen it before. What do we know? Yeah. All we know now is when you post and who you are, but we don't know what's in it for us.
Yeah, another thing is, on your homepage, you've got sort of like one row of videos. But looking at your videos tab, it looks like you've got way more videos. You've got like, I think 10 videos, it looks like. So, you know, a lot of people won't like go into your video tab. By default, they end up on your homepage on YouTube. So, you know, adding sections, adding a channel trailer, it kind of, you know, it puts more content on your homepage, and then, you know, showcases that so that, you know, you have the best chance, like the maximum chance of somebody, you know, getting someone's attention, right? So right now you have 6 chances, whereas if you put all of your videos on the homepage through playlists and sections, and even a channel trailer, even, you know, then you've got like 10 or 11 chances, you know, for somebody to click into a video. So yeah, just add more sections. I think that'll really help.
Agreed.
Yeah, there you go.
And Oh, go ahead.
Can I add a kind of like a follow-up question? So do you recommend for the homepage to create different playlists, or like that's not a good idea?
No, definitely. You should have as many playlists. Like if we were to go back to the TubeBuddy channel as the example, like you want to be able to bring people where you want them to go, right? Like I see here, there is a, volume up. You talk with a relationship expert. You talk about being self-employed. Well, let's say I want to learn self-employment tips. Having a playlist that's all about your self-employment journey is super important. If I want to learn about the relationship side, having that playlist where it's easy to understand and watch all those videos is huge, because then as a user, I understand that you're about, relationship advice. You do work from home stuff. I also see that you talk about a lot of other different things. So it gives me an expectation as a viewer. Think of this as, it's called a YouTube channel, right? So you should make sure that your channel, like the TV guys of old, is very clear what people can expect, because if I don't know what to expect, which is what is happening here, like Rob mentioned, I'm kind of a little lost, and you never want to feel lost on your channel.
Yeah, powerful, great tips. I'll give you lots of homework, Leslie. She loves it. Very helpful. So thank you. Yeah, great. And we have, do you want to do another channel?
Sure.
Yeah, so we have Amy's channel in the private chat. So if you can copy and paste that.
We are good.
Oh, awesome. Wow, so fast.
So
Amy, you are doing yours. Yeah.
So kind of to what Rob said, we're kind of seeing the opposite for Amy. So we don't see that channel banner. And so Rob, similar to what you said, what can you gather from this?
Yeah. I mean, it's such a missed opportunity there, Amy, for sure. Putting a channel banner first and foremost. That's the first thing people, look at. They kind of see, it's just like when you're scrolling through like anything, right? Like on Netflix or, like it's just like, what is this channel about? Who is this person? What kind of content is here? How often are you uploading? Those are some of the really easy questions that your channel banner should answer. So yeah, definitely just a missed opportunity there. So I know Amy's very resourceful. I know her pretty well. So I'm sure you can whip up a really good banner there. So yeah, definitely put that up there.
And one thing I like to say the banners are like is people look at them pretty quickly, but they should be able to understand what you are. So think of them kind of like a billboard. If I saw this billboard on the road, the only thing I'd be like is, I have no idea what Amy's doing, but I'm glad she has a billboard.
Yeah.
Exactly. Another thing I'm seeing is like you're doing coaches go social, so how to stand for a cause with your brand, how to create a legendary brand. I like the idea and the uniformity, but the problem is if I'm a user, right, and I see these thumbnails, and again, 80% of people watch on their phone. So if I zoom this out, if I'm scrolling quickly on my phone and it's about this size, I could actually think I've watched an episode before, because from this size, I'm like, well, I can barely see it. Yeah. So I would say make sure your thumbnails are varied. I do like the images, but I would honestly take the coach and maybe make it a little longer, a little larger, each different person that you're interviewing, so it's more clear. I don't mind the coaches go social, but I'm afraid that people could think they've watched an episode already.
Yeah, it's a good point. And also just the text, look at it, look at the thumbnail through your phone and kind of look at it like, is it easy to read? Definitely right here, Amy, there's a bit too much text and it's a little too small. And so definitely with YouTube banners or thumbnails, less is better. So, you've got some really good pictures of your guests. So probably highlighting them and then highlighting what the interview was, like what is the benefit of the interview, and getting someone's attention that way. Again, it's a lot of testing. You have like the sponsored by, Wave Video on those, which is good. But I think it's, if it's sponsored, that's kind of a tricky thing. Like you want to put that on the thumbnail, or do you want to just like leave that out so there's more room so that you can use that space for the actual text or the guest, and then get more people to actually watch the video, and then in the video then you can obviously talk about Wave or whoever your sponsor is, right? So I think taking out more text and using less text so that you can get someone's attention and it can pop better.
Agreed.
Yeah, I remember I watched your training saying that, on the thumbnail, you only have like 4 words. I was like, yeah. I have a quick question regarding thumbnail. I'd love to share my screen for a second
Go for it.
because I know that you can use TubeBuddy to actually generate a thumbnail. But I don't know. I heard mixed messages about it. Some people say it is actually good. Some people say it's not good. And now I have some official people to ask. So what do you think about it? So I will share with you. This is my thumbnail. As you can see that I pretty much just use the TubeBuddy like generating thumbnail. I just kind of, hey, I love this. I'm smiling. My guest is smiling. I just kind of, that's my thumbnail. So do you think this is a good approach or I should create actually separate ones? And yeah.
So Rob, you can take it or I can take it.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So what I would say when it comes to a thumbnail, and you can do this in the thumbnail generator, I think that like any of our tools, it's when it comes to creativity, that would be like saying, well, I don't know how to use Photoshop, so it's bad. That's not true. Like it's how you use it, right? It's like using any tool. So I would say for you, if I were to do the thumbnail within it, I would actually really zoom in on your face. Again, people like seeing faces. We have data and YouTube has data that says usually, and this is not for everyone, but on average, thumbnails with faces do better. Again, every channel is different, so make sure you know your data. But if I want to get to know you and I want to get to know what you're about, seeing your face is so important. So I would actually push in a little more. And then as Rob said, really highlight what that talk is about. This is something we do on our channel where like we focus on the key points. And the more you do that, the easier it is for your audience to say, oh, I get that. And oh, Dr. I love her. I'm going to click. The more you win.
Love it. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah, that's my homework. And also, and Amy loves the critique. So thank you. And thank you for sharing your channel. And kind of another follow-up question, because Amy does lots of live streaming and I do too. So do you think it's possible to grow a YouTube channel if we kind of are heavily relying on like live streaming to grow a YouTube channel? Is that possible? Or I'm just curious how live streaming content is ranked and compared to pre-recorded videos in terms of YouTube algorithm?
So I can show you actually, if you don't mind.
Yeah, and we have a few more channels, but I want to respect, so you probably can do 1 or 2 more, everyone. Yeah.
So if we go to search, right? One thing I'll do is zoom in really quick here. I will just go in, type in baseball. We saw that earlier. So if we go to the filters here, if you look at how YouTube is defaulting how they are showing you results, well, one of the ones is relevance, but if you look at it, they also really like live because guess what? A live is going to be more relevant than anything, right? How it's going to always be relevant. So the more work you do, YouTube tries to help live streams out a lot. Now, if you have a live stream channel, that's where we're putting in the description, the title description tags, having it optimized helps it when it's not live too. So if we understand YouTube likes relevant information and lives are incredible relevant information and you're creating that, then that puts you in a great spot where you're giving them relevant information. YouTube likes live streams and it's helping you. So it ends up being a pretty great relationship.
Well, I love that. And I do notice, even though I don't have lots of people following me on YouTube, and even the 300 subscribers are purely gained through my restreaming. I rarely upload any original content to YouTube, and people do watch until the end, which is pretty good.
Exactly.
I love it. Great point. Great point. Yeah, great question. Thank you. So let's do another channel critique. And I shared Zakia. Yeah, I shared Zakia's link in the chat box. And she said that her channel, she's kind of doing random content, but her channel is already growing. But she wants to be more systematic and
it's not seeming to be able to pull the link. I'll try again. All right, YouTube just had an issue.
Yeah.
You gotta love YouTube, right? All right, so Rob, what are your thoughts?
Let's see here. Yeah, I like the picture. I like the picture of Zakia, live soap school, more than soap, live streaming, soap making, and online biz tech. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like you're doing a lot of live streams. So yeah, I'm just trying to, so live soap school, more than soap. So yeah, so I guess obviously it's about soap. It looks like how to make soap, maybe kind of, I'm just trying to guess without looking at the video content itself, but just like looking at the banner. So I think we could probably like massage that a little bit, Zakia, to like improve that a little bit so it's easier to understand. Maybe I'm just not in the space, but maybe Andrew, do you catch what the channel is about pretty quickly?
I'm kind of there with you. You say live soap school, so I'm like, okay, so this is a school about soap. And then the next thing you tell me is it's more than soap. So I'm like, okay, so it's a school about soap and other stuff.
Yeah.
And then I see here it's soap making. I'm like, so is this about soap or not? So it's like you're telling me three different things because people are going to read it down the line because that's how they tend to do it. So the only thing that kind of makes sense on the more than soap is the online biz tech. But then if I'm here for the soap making, I don't necessarily know if I care about the online biz tech.
Yeah.
So I'd be very worried about splitting the audience because if I love how you make soap and you've taught me how to make different things, lotions, etc. Again, I haven't looked at the channel past the banner. I would say that I'm confused as well. So make sure that for those people who love making soap, that it's super clear. Because like they're like, oh, live soap school, that's awesome. And then you're like, more than scoop, great, more than soap, great. And then they're like, wait, biz tech. So is this about soap or business?
Yeah. I think, I'm scrolling down. It looks like the content, Zakia, it looks like it is about, soap making, but also how to make that into a business. So I think that's what it seems like your audience is, you're teaching people how to make soap, but then also make that a business for themselves.
Wow.
Let us know in the chat if you're here, Zakia, that let us know if we're on the right track there. But yeah, I think there's just a little bit there's definitely some ways where you can kind of massage that text in the banner to make that really clear. I feel like it's there, it
so she said in the chat box for both soap business and so for both soap and business owners, I think.
Both soap business owners. Okay.
So the hard part there is that there may not be that much overlap, and YouTube needs to know. It's like if you put a bunch of soap videos and they start getting lots of views, and then you put out a business video and it doesn't get as many views, YouTube's going to look at that and go, what happened?
Yeah.
So as you can see of my amazing drawing skills here. So you want to make sure you keep giving, because the viewers came for a reason, right? What happens if it's the adverse? They're like, oh, I love this viz tech video. I don't care about soap. So why should they watch? Yeah. And so it's not to say that it's a bad idea, but what I would say is maybe you can say teaching you how to make soap and turn it into a business. I like that idea from Rob, because then you're keeping the soap narrative as well as earning money. It goes back into the soap side. And I think that makes a lot more sense. And maybe that is what you're doing, but as it is on the banner, it's not that well cleared.
Yeah. Zakia says, soap makers trying to sell soap online. Yeah. So I think it's there. Like you're getting there. I think it's like helping soap makers build an online business,
And that's like a great reason to subscribe.
Yeah.
That right there is like helping you make an income off your passion for soap. That right there is like, oh, I get it. I would love to make an income off making soaps. Immediately I understand. But one thing I'll also say is, you're telling me this is a live soap school. You're telling me live streaming. If I'm at school, what time are classes? Because I don't know about you, Rob, but I have no idea when I'm supposed to show up.
Good call. Yeah. You got to leverage that too, right, Zakia?
Yeah.
So if you're doing live streams, you got to leverage that, because if you're doing live streams, then people also have it's like your value there is much higher than uploaded video sometimes, because you're available live, real time, engaged, answering, you can answer their questions. So you want to make sure that like, hey, I'm showing up at this time. So you want to try to do that as best as possible and really promote that, especially on your banner. So yeah, well, good call, Andrew. Yeah.
Wow, that's a great point. Also reminds me, I should add I'm also kind of an online school. I need to add the time I'm actually going live, doing live training. Great tips. I love it. Awesome. And Hanson, I'm trying to share your YouTube channel. Oh, hold on. Oh, there's another one. Hold on. But I'm also trying to share Hanson's. So Hanson's is, it doesn't really work. Let me know if you want to fix that. And so here is another one from Hassan. This is probably the last one that we do. Where are you? Here. So let me share the link in the chat box. So private chat.
Yep.
Sounds good. And we have it.
See it.
So whenever we are ready, there we are. So one thing I can see is that you have created a playlist. You call it favorites, but kind of going back to what we're seeing, you know, Rob talked about this earlier, is it's like making sure you're doing all the stuff YouTube wants. I would love to see a custom banner because I don't really know much. Now I do see like you kayaking. I see a lot of water. So maybe, you know, just quickly, I can see climbing. It seems like you're in sports outdoor. I see trekking. So I have a kind of idea, but besides what I'm seeing, it's a little confusing.
Yeah, and Hassan, like it's been a while since you've uploaded, so that's definitely the first thing, is just start thinking about your content again. Maybe you're uploading somewhere else or sharing on other channels or other platforms, but definitely start thinking about, you know, being consistent. I think that's going to be a big part of any small creator, myself included. So so just uploading on a consistent basis there.
And I do see you have a playlist, but I see the video has been deleted according to YouTube. So if you are going to have a playlist, make sure it has content that is relevant and new and not deleted.
Yeah, exactly. If you have time for one more, there is one there from Hanson. I put in the private chat for you guys if you guys want to pull it.
Sure.
That can be the last one.
So here, so he probably fixed the link.
There it is. Yeah, growth works. Awesome.
All right. So right off the bat, I love what I'm seeing. We help big people empower children with essential life skills. Very clear what the idea is. The only thing I would say is you have this logo, maybe put GrowthWorks, helping big people empower children with essential life skills. Powerful, amazing value. I immediately know what I can expect from the channel. I see who is going to be helping me do this. So you're hitting the who, the what. I would love to know when I can expect to help, you know, children with these essential life skills. So maybe Rob, you agree or disagree, but I would love to know, hey, is it once a week? Is it every day? Is it a live stream? Is it videos? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like the branding, very cohesive branding, even down to the thumbnails. I see the green and sort of the reddish. I like it. I like that a lot. Your picture is also on all of the thumbnails, almost all of them, which is good for like brand recognition. You know, you're obviously the star of the show here, right, on your channel. So that's awesome, Hanson. But it's not in a way where it's like you overtake, like you're not taking all the attention. I can see, you know, the guests that you have. Looks like you had I on your show a little while ago. So that's awesome. So the branding itself is really well done.
And to add to this, I love that you have you have these playlists here. So like we see Family Matters, we see Kids Alive. One thing I'd keep in mind is that playlists on YouTube can be searchable too. So my thing with Family Matters is people might see the show called Family Matters instead of your programming. So what I would say is you should call one Parenting Matters, and then I see Code to Happiness. I would go a step beyond and make each different show have its own playlist. So if I'm really enjoying, for example, the Code to Happiness, I can watch all those specific videos and enjoy them there. And it's, again, you're giving me more options as a user.
So true. Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of what I did. So I have a playlist for this show. I also have a playlist for my education show. So yeah.
Very smart.
Yeah. Great. I hope that is helpful, Hanson. And thank you for doing us live. Yeah. And he loves it. And her son also loves it. And awesome. Yeah. You guys are amazing. Over deliver for sure. So share with us. Hold on. Let me share your YouTube channel. So share with us, where can people learn more about you and like discover more about TubeBuddy. So Andrew, I should be sharing your screen right now. So we can start with you.
Sure. So you can find me at Andrew Can or the TubeBuddy YouTube channel. I have a very simple philosophy, and I kind of got to say it here. And the belief is that if I can, you watching can too. The idea is that nothing is unattainable, that if I can do this, you can do this too.
Love it. Last but not least, my dear friend Rob.
Yeah, just copy and paste my name. I've got a really long last name, guys, and so just copy and paste my name.
Oh my
You'll
God.
find me on YouTube or
Every time when I have you on my show, I have to double check to make sure I'm getting your last name right.
yeah, no, don't worry. If you get it wrong, it's not the first time, so don't worry. Yeah, but yeah, I'm on YouTube. I've got my personal channel, but I'm also hanging out a lot in the TubeBuddy channels, and so yeah, feel free to message us there. And if you want to DM me, the easiest is probably Instagram. I kind of hang out there quite a fair bit and treat the DM like text messaging. So you can, if you have any questions that I can help with, I'll probably introduce you to Andrew, who probably has a good answer.
Yeah, I think everyone is super impressed with TubeBuddy. So share with us, where can people I know you have different levels. So is there a way for people to check out for free for a few days? Things like that.
So there's TubeBuddy.com/free trial. And so I can put that in the YouTube chat really quickly. So if anyone wants to see that link, it basically just gives you a free trial link to TubeBuddy. And it's a really helpful link. I just put it there in our chat on YouTube, so you can put it on the stream. And so that link is very useful. You can also, I'll put it in our private chat. So it's lets you try TubeBuddy. Just give us a little bit of information. You can try any of our levels. Rob, what level would you recommend?
If you're going to get a free trial, go for the Legend plan. So you get access to everything. And then over the next 30 days, you can kind of experiment on all the different tools and then see which ones you use. And then you can always downgrade down to a smaller plan or the free version. There's no contracts here at TubeBuddy. So you can use any of that. And then to add to that, Andrew, love to invite you guys. If you guys really want to dive into learning how to use TubeBuddy, then every Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern, me and Andrew are hanging out inside of TubeBuddy 101. So I'll put that link in the YouTube chat as well, and you guys can find it there.
All right, that's so exciting. And thank you so much. I'm determined, as I shared earlier, to really grow my YouTube channel. I want to make both of you be proud.
Please.
Not waste an hour on my show, but actually learn something. So really excited. Thank you so much. Everyone check out the link. And thank you so much for a great interview. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us live from all over the globe. And as always, this show is sponsored by StreamYard, my favorite place, my favorite tool to go live. And check them out. And they are really amazing. And thank you so much again, everyone. I hope to see you again next Wednesday or Thursday for some of you. The same time, same location. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.